Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Minecraft tutorial video. Today we're going to be doing random loot chests. That's right, I finally figured it out. And it's not some stupid setup that requires 20,000 blocks. You don't need to make a whole new chain of command blocks for every single chest. There's no scoreboards, none of that. None of that. This is as easy as it gets, man, I'm telling you. So, if you liked the video, why don't you like and subscribe while we're at it. Okay, now let's get into it. So first things first, I'll just show you guys how it kind of works. Basically, this is what it looks like as it cycles through. You can see it's cycling through the random loot. Now I only have 6 items set up, so it just cycles through 2 different things. But how this works is that when this is activated, it kills the a buddy down there who is causing this to be random, and we're stuck with this. This is what we got for the random pull. If I were to replace him down there again, we're probably not going to get the apple again, maybe? Okay, I think we got the helmet instead of the boots. Try that one more time. I'll give it a good time to cycle through. And there we go. We got a bow, arrows, and leather boots. So it's random to whatever items you set it up to be. I'm going to turn this off just for the sake so you guys can see exactly how this works. And let's get right into the commands. Oh, before we do that, actually, I should probably explain how it works. So first what we need to do is get an anvil. You need an anvil. If you don't have an anvil, it's pretty easy. Just open up the inventory and search. Grab a mob of your choice. I would recommend a rabbit or a silverfish. Silverfish are easier to contain, so I use the silverfish. But rabbits don't make any sounds as far as I know, so that might be the better approach. However, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is rename it to whatever you want. You can name it Loot Table Sky Wars. Like, it doesn't have to be what I put here. I'm going to keep it Loot Table 1 because that's what I named it and all my commands are set up, and it just makes more sense to me. From there, we're going to start doing our commands. Now, all this really requires is 2 command blocks. I can get rid of this, and it theoretically works still. All I have to do is change one of these numbers to be the same slot as the other one. And now if I go back over here, it's a 50-50. Well, actually, now it's 50. It's a 50-50 on this first slot. And it just cycles between them. So to get a random chest working, all you need is 2 command blocks. Super simple. If you want more, you're gonna have to input a couple more things. So to start here, you can see we have the /execute command, which basically says we're gonna do this command at this location. We're going to do it at an entity with the name of Loot Table 1. For you guys, it might say something else like Loot Table Sky Wars. Don't forget to put the quotations here. You have to quotation the name and spell it exactly the same way. Which means if you ever color code something, it also has to be color coded. Everything has to be the same. We're going to do it 3 tilde keys. So at the location of the silverfish, replace item block. We're not replacing an entity. We're doing the block, which is the chest. And then we're going to do tilde key with a 2 attached to it, which means 2 blocks above our entity. So in this case, 2 blocks above the silverfish. Slot container, and 12 refers to the spot on the chest, which is right here. This is 12, 13, 14. The first one would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so forth. So we're doing 12, 13, and 14 for this setup. And then at 12, I'm going to put a bow. We're doing 1 bow. If you wanted to, you can input the data values. In this case, I don't have it here. Just to show you guys it doesn't matter. And if you do put the data value, it doesn't matter either. It still will work. It's just up to you. This is the exact same command. The only part of it that's different is this 13 arrow 30 part. That's all that's different. It's a different slot, different item, and different amount. And over here, we move on to the next slot, which would be 14 with leather boots with 1 0. And then after we've gone through the first part of the loot, we're going to move on to the next part, which is replacing it. So it randomizes. So for replacing the bow, that's a 12, I replace with a stone sword with 1. So basically, you can only get 1 weapon from the chest. It's either a bow or a sword. That's why I replaced that, so you can't get 2 weapons. Obviously, you could have had like a stone sword versus a wooden sword. Then here, I replaced the arrows with apples. Again, this is all preference. You can do whatever you want. And finally, replace the leather boots with an iron helmet. Now this can be as long as you want. So basically, let's say you didn't want to do just 3 items. You could have gone 4 items, 5 items, 6 items, 7, as long as you wanted to. You just have to also do that with the replacing items. You have to make sure you go over every single block. On the contrary, you can also extend this. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, which is one part of the loot table. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for another part of replacement. 1, 2, 3, and now it cycles through 4 different things. All you have to do is change these last parts, the location of where in the chest it's going to replace, what item, and the amount. That's all that you have to change. If you're on mouse and keyboard, I know you can do control middle click to copy command block, so you don't have to type all that out. If you're on mobile or console, I don't know if there's a way for you guys to copy command blocks. I'm sorry, I wish, if there is a way, somebody comment down below, please, because it'd be a big help for a lot of players. If anything, you probably can just plug in a mouse and keyboard temporarily onto a console. So now this is all set up. We're going to go over the tick delays and how they work. So all of these are set to 5 tick delays. You don't have to. You can make them 1 tick delays. I just prefer a slower cycle. So all of these are 5 ticks, except the first one. This first one is actually going to be 30. The way that works is basically you have 5 here, add another 5. So this is 10, 15, 20, 25 ticks. And then just count as if there's another one here. 30 ticks here. That's how much this one has to be. This one's 30 ticks. If you don't do 30 ticks, what happens is it cycles differently. Now this is preference. You can cycle it differently, but keep in mind it kind of doesn't cycle properly. So if I go over here, you see how multiple items are changing at a time. If you prefer that, you can leave the cycle lower. However, it isn't as random in testing. So let's say if this was 1 tick, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one would be a 6 tick delay. And I actually could show you how that works. Look, but it's going to flash like crazy. All right, I've set all of them to 1 tick, and the last one is 6 ticks. And now you can see it cycles a lot more faster now. If you prefer this, you can keep it. All it does is makes the loot cycle faster. There's no difference in it. It might change the chances of you grabbing it. Maybe if you have a lot of loot, you want to do this because then you'll cycle through everything a lot faster. But yeah, that's how that works. Now, one thing that there's one downside to this. I'll show you what I mean. So if you look at the chest over there, it's right next to the command blocks. As soon as it disappears, that's basically as far as you want to go. Because if you go farther, chances are the command blocks won't load properly and the chest won't spawn. So now you can see this one's cycling, right? But I have another chest that's way back here, and this one doesn't cycle. Silverfish? Nothing. It stopped cycling. This is here because I had it set up earlier. But I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So if you want items to cycle that are beyond the loading chunks of a command block, what you can do is add a ticking area. That ticking area is basically cause the area itself to just constantly load, and I'll show you how to do that. So for our scenario, we're gonna do slash ticking area add, and we're gonna I'm gonna tab into the coordinates. So 13, 3, 71. That's our current location. I'm gonna hit enter. It's gonna error out, and then I'm gonna go to the other corner of whatever needs to be loaded. Push up arrow to get back to it, or up D-pad on the controller. Space, and then you're gonna do all the tilde keys. And you're gonna name it. I'm gonna name it loot chests. And now it says add in ticking area 1 out of 10 used. So if I go back to the chest that is way over there, it should now start cycling, even though we're outside of the loading chunk of the command blocks. Because what that ticking area does is it forces it to constantly load. See? Keep in mind, anything in that area will load. So if you have a lot of mobs in an area, don't put it in a ticking area because it could potentially lag the game. Pretty simple. Like I said, it's a relatively easy setup. Just don't forget to add a command block underneath it that says slash kill at entity name equals loot table range of 2. And you can make it impulse or repeat, whatever you want. That way when we open it, it stops. And like I said, you can make it impulse as well. It doesn't matter. It's more aesthetic for than anything. So if you prefer the brown, Use the impulse. If you prefer the purple, use repeating. Either way, it works. As you can see, silverfish died each time. I hope this helped you guys out a lot. I worked a really long time in figuring out how to get a more basic setup for the random chests. I wanted it to be easy for people to use and not repetitive. I didn't want you guys to have to build commands for a specific location for every single chest. I just wanted one build, and then you put the chests where you want them. Again, if you found this really helpful, please like, share it. It means the world. Like, anybody who shares this video is a fucking fam, dude. And if you're still here, like, how are you not subscribed? What the